So James Nagel, I think that's how you say his name, uh, coming out here with some pretty crazy takes right now. Jalen Carter is far and away the Eagles' most talented player on defense, but walking 15-yard penalty, questionable effort, conditioning issues. I don't hate the idea of trading him. It feels risky to pay him $40 million a year, and Philly would receive a massive haul. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this. Uh, yes, it would be quite risky. I don't think there's any questionable effort or conditioning issues in that regard. And listen, man, when you're a monster, when you're a beast, you're going to get some penalties. You're going to get some 15-yard penalties. It's just kind of going to happen. You're going to push it to the brink every single time. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I enjoy it, but it is what it is. As long as the culture is maintained in Philly, then you can deal with any of these issues. You're talking about getting a massive haul. You're hoping to then draft a Jalen Carter. And the reason why they were able to draft Jalen Carter was because of some of these question marks around him and some of the stuff that happened off the field, and people were stunned. They couldn't believe that it wasn't fair that Jalen Carter even fell to the Philadelphia Eagles in the first place. So it's just one of those things where you're just like, you kind of just have to take advantage of that opportunity because the Eagles have been consistently a great team. So they're not drafting in the top 10, and yet they were able to really, by a lot of luck, have a Jalen Carter fall into their lap. Now, technically, it can be the gift that keeps on giving if you want to move on from him and get this haul, but then you're hoping to repeat a lot of this good fortune. And I don't know. You do that if you think that you're in a position where you now need to kind of hit the reset button on this roster and on this team, and you need to rebuild lots of things. And I don't know. Do you feel that way right now? If you do, then you make a move like that, kind of similar to what, say, the Kansas City Chiefs did, and they said, we have to rebuild. There's not enough of a foundation for us to build off of. If the Eagles feel that way, then you make a move like this, you're pretty much saying we're not prepared to win a Super Bowl within the next year or so, maybe even two. Like, you're really building for that next run, which is what the Kansas City Chiefs are looking to do. They're kind of maybe potentially punting this year and maybe even next in hopes of the next 5 years being legit. And so, again, I'm not saying I'm a fan of this in any stretch of the imagination, because I think this defense is still awesome, number one. Number two, if the O-line, and see, that to me is the biggest question mark, because I do believe Jalen Hurts with just Devontae, Saquon, etc., even if they move on from AJ, can show a ton of improvement, but it's that O-line that is the question mark, because you do have players that are potentially retiring, and we know Lane Johnson eventually is going to retire, right? So you're in that situation where if you feel that like you need to completely overhaul the O-line, you're then kind of in this situation where you're going, one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, one step back, and you're just kind of, you're going a little bit of here, a little bit over there, a little bit over here, a little bit over here. You're getting cheap as well by doing something like this, and then you can go out and buy, B next season or so. You go out and buy the A.J. Brown, the Saquon Barkley move, right? Just look at the moves, what the Eagles did in previously to set them up to be an elite team, 22, 23, 24, etc. I mean, listen, I know things kind of went up and down during that time, but like 22, 23, 24, 25, the Eagles were a bona fide top team. They just were. Again, I know they went to the Super Bowl twice. I know the other 2 years they didn't get to the Super Bowl. I get it. But that was coaching more than anything. That just is what it is, unfortunately. So it's just interesting to me because they have this, I don't want to say this young nucleus, but they have this nucleus Squan Devontae, and I used to say A.J. Brown. But it seems like A.J. Brown's going to be traded Jalen. And now you even add in a Jalen Cart, where you're just kind of like, this is the juice. This is their prime. This is their absolute prime. If you make a move like this, and again, that prime where you're getting the most out of them, it's going to be like another 2 or 3 years. And so if you make a move like this in this massive haul, you're essentially looking to even use now a Saquon and a Devontae. Like, they could still be your main guys, but like, I'd almost then start to compare it, because I don't think they would be as reliable when it's time to really get after it. it would almost be similar to kind of what the Bucks did, or maybe even the Rams, but I'll use the Bucks right now because they had to went out and got Gronk AB. Like, they had a nice little core. They had a nice foundation. Obviously, this is when they added Brady, and it was just like, well, we still need some of these other foundational pieces here. So, listen, I'm on the fence of having some of these types of discussions because I don't think it's going to happen. And if it did, then it's like that's one of those things where you're just like, if something like this actually happened, you would have no other choice but to say this is why Howie is Howie, right? You would just be like, if this is what Howie did, you're I'm just gonna have to sit back and trust it. I don't know all the plan that he all the plans that he has right now, but I just got to take a step back and trust it. Trust that he knows more than me. But you know, you got to be careful with these types of takes because you can just go on wild goose chase after wild goose chase. And I keep trying to emphasize I don't try to do that. I don't try to chase every single wild goose chase because it's like I keep trying to emphasize it's like I want to talk about what matters. But I did see something like this and I was like, "You know what? Let me throw this out there and see how you guys all respond honestly because if you guys are like this is so dumb. Why are we even talking about this? This video is useless." Great. That's awesome feedback for me. But if you're like, "No, man, it's the off season. I'm trying to get wild and speculate and just try to, have fun and think of the potential options out there." I'm all for that too. Right. I just love to talk ball. I want to keep at it even during the off season as much as I possibly can. So, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Not only would you do something like this, should they do something like this? And also these types of videos, this is something that resonates with you. If you're kind of like, nah, don't need it. So, let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, it's some discussions. It's of some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.